Hi, everybody. I'm Julie Williams. Welcome to the Voiceover Insider Podcast. Got some special guests today. One person I've known for, I'm thinking 12 years now, something like that.
It's a cruise ship, I think.
Ship, the Voice Olympic cruise in 2009. Yeah. That was a great time. Anyway, it's George Whittam of georgethe.tech.com.
That's it. It doesn't roll off the tongue, but that is the name of the business.
georgethe.tech.com.
I was trying to get my name is my address. Remember that? Remember those commercials, Rick, from Philadelphia?
Robin's Eighth and Walnut? That's right. Our name is our address. Yeah.
That's what I was going for.
Our other guest is Rick Wasserman.
Hi.
And, they're both with georgethe.tech.com. Anyway, the reason I wanted to talk to George and Rick today is because they've got a great new product that is all the buzz right now, and it's called the Tri-Booth. And it's a portable booth for voiceover talents who have to go on the road, and I'm presuming also for even if they needed to record at home. I mean, it's kind of high-end and flexible. So tell us all about the Tri-Booth.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I just want to be clear, Rick and I work together on Tri-Booth, and that's tribooth.com. I do georgethe.tech. That's all my tech stuff. And Rick also has a property called Bookable that he's doing great work over there too. But anyway, just want to slip that in there before we get into it. But Rick,
thanks, George. Thanks for the shout out.
Sorry, I didn't do that. Sorry, I didn't do that, Rick.
Hey, we're juggling all this ourselves. George and I, like you, we've known each other for over a decade now, both Philly guys. And in the early days of my career, I needed an engineer. That became very clear very quickly, and George was the go-to guy, and in my opinion, is the go-to guy, and we started working together. And I'm a theater actor. That's what I do. And I was doing a little voiceover on the side. And then, of course, as the years went by, those things juggled, and then I had a full-time voice career with a little bit of theater on the side. And after I was the voice of AMC Network for 15 years, and it's a long time to be the voice of something. I happily did it. It was great. But of course, I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't go and do theater. And after a while, I was going a little cuckoo. And I told my wife, I need some time outside this booth. I've got to go do theater somewhere. But what if there's not a studio available at this theater? What if I need to do some of my promo at night and I can't get into it? So all these issues, I need to have some sort of portable something or other. So George and I kind of found some solution that was going to work. We crossed our fingers and hoped the technology was good enough to go out and give it a try. And it was. AMC had no idea I wasn't in my regular studio, which was great. George also helped this cause by building me a little custom audio filter so that my recorded stuff on the road sounded just like my stuff recorded in my home studio. When I got back from the trip, we kind of debriefed, and I said, it was okay, but it could be a lot sexier, this thing. We could fix it. We could do, it sounds like the $6 Million Man. Like we could make it stronger, faster, right? And we had this conversation. More portable. Find a way. Lighter. Find a way so we didn't have to ship it, that we could take it on an airplane with us. This is what we needed to talk about. And over 6 months, we worked it and worked it and worked it and kept trying different versions. I would do another show and take a new version with me, try it out, bring it back, debrief again. So it had this kind of evolution. And then at one point, we got it to fairly close to where it is now. And I was in New York doing some project and happened to have my booth with me, and a wonderful but very kind of cash cow voiceover guy saw it, and he went, "What is that?" And I said, "It's my travel booth." And he said, "I'll buy it." I went, "Oh, no, it's not for sale." And he said, "Listen to me, make it so I can buy it." I went, "Okay." So I did. And George and I talked about it more. We got a lawyer. We got it patent pending, which it still is. And we continued to refine it. And then we sold one to this guy, and we sold one to another person, then another person. And now we're over a year old, and we've sold over 100 of them. And George, we sold 2 this morning. So, they're
Yay!
So
talked about it. I mean, that's why I contacted you. I heard about it. I'm like, they are? Really? Tell me about this booth. And of course, I know George is like, George, come with me. Tell me about this booth.
Yeah.
I just want to know. And So tell me, when you said you can take it on an airplane, what is it, like a carry-on size or what?
It's not carry-on size, and the only reason it's not carry-on size is because in order to make it quiet enough, you still have to have acoustic, panel blanketing. You need something. And that takes up space. And we couldn't get that. And listen, one day that's the dream, of course, have it as carry-on. But right now, it will reliably go in storage like another piece of luggage. And we were very keen about keeping it under 50 pounds so people would not incur any overage fees for weight in their luggage.
Nice, very thoughtful.
Yeah, the weight restriction has been very important from the beginning, and the ease of getting it into the other thing is not just the weight, it's the ease of assembly and then collapsing again. That was a big part of the design, because you can make something that packs into very small spaces. Can you imagine taking a piece of IKEA furniture and putting it back in the box it came in? Forget it. It'd be impossible. So that was a big thing. Yeah, it fits into a regular hard shell style rollerboard, rolling luggage bag that you could check on the plane and not worry about it on the other end being intact.
So I am not as young as I used to be, and I'm not as strong as I used to be, and I'm a woman, and yet I do voiceovers. Will I be able to carry that?
Well, I wouldn't imagine you or anyone would want to carry it, like you would carry a child or a fireman carry.
Well,
But like it's under 50 pounds, so you just use it like, it's like rolling luggage. You can have that. Currently, we sell it in a duffel bag because during the pandemic, no one was traveling. And we thought we could save the money, what we would spend on rolling luggage, and put it toward upgrading components within the booth. Because people started asking us, listen, we're not traveling anymore during this pandemic. Could we just use it at home because we can't get to a studio? And we said, of course. Yeah, it can be your home studio. There's no reason why you wouldn't. So we started putting it in a duffel bag. But of course, you can get it in rolling luggage, and we even have a link to it on our website if you, in fact, want to take it on an airplane.
One of the things that we did was actually lighten it up a little bit. We actually are using a much less common type of PVC tubing that is furniture grade and thinner walled. So that makes it lighter weight. And that stuff you're not going to find at any Home Depot. This is tubing that we've had to source, and sometimes it's hard to get, but it keeps the weight down manageable. And yes, at first it feels like a bulky item because it's a rolling suitcase that weighs 45-ish pounds, depending on how much stuff you put in there. But you get in your room and you unzip it and it unfolds, and now it's just everything that you pull out of the case, nothing in there weighs more than 4 or 5 pounds. So putting it together, it's not that unwieldy. It just takes a little time to, what's this do? And how does this work? And we have videos and assembly instructions and all kinds of stuff.
I'm sure if someone travels a lot, it's going to take less. But how much time do you think it would take to put together if you use it occasionally?
It goes up and down in under 10 minutes. Now, I can get it going in under 8 minutes, but there's no contest here. Unless you want to bet. But, other than that, it goes up and down in under 10 minutes, which is good because some people just want a studio in their apartment. They just want to have a booth there, but they don't want it there all the time. So they would like to be able to take it down after doing their audiobook or whatever they're working on and put it in a closet, which you can, which is nice to save yourself some space. You can store it.
In the cities, there's a lot of people that work. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just asking what it looked like if you have a picture.
I do, if I can share my screen with you.
And that would be...
I think you should be able to.
Yeah. So this is our website, and here you can see it actually putting itself together here. It's a fairly simple design. It has cross bracing, there's the accessories, and then it has this acoustical stuff and a cap on top. All the accessories you see here, except for the microphone itself, which is mine, it all comes with it. All the accessories come with it. So a mic boom, a copy stand, a shelf for your for whatever equipment you want to put in there. It even has a beverage holder for whatever beverage you decide you want. It is light colored inside to make it easier to see inside, but it also comes with a dimmable LED light system. It comes with a power hub. So you can plug things in, whatever you want to plug in. Maybe you want to bring a laptop in there, or you want to bring your tablet in there. You can bring all that in there. It also has USB chargers in there. So it's got everything. In fact, here's a picture of George and I putting it together just for a fun publicity shot.
In our socks.
Sort of everything. That's sort of everything you get here. And this is not to scale. This bag is actually much smaller. But that's the Tri Booth. That's what it looks like in its current iteration.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you said you sold more than 100 of them in the first year?
Yeah, we did. And it's been good. We've had some companies purchase them, which is really nice to know that, especially during the pandemic when they couldn't get their talent into a studio, that they could take a studio to the talent. That seems to make sense. And of course, listen, I'm in a whisper room right now. It is the studio I had for my entire career, 20 plus years. I've been in the same booth. But I invested early. I got mine early. George actually got it for me, and it's what I've used. When I started, I didn't have very much money, and I put my money into this. But I know that I also teach. BookableVO.com is my coaching company, and a lot of the people I work with, they just don't have the money for a $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 studio. Save all the accessories that you might need. They just don't have the budget. So this is also budget friendly. That this is it's a $1,500 booth, which is a fraction of anything else. And I should also point out that with this studio, with this booth, you step inside it and are completely enclosed in it, as opposed to standing in front of a shielded thing or draping something over your head. I didn't do that. The only reason I wanted that in design was for me. I'm used to being in a booth. I'm used to being in this kind of telephone booth, and that's what I wanted with the Tri booth. Tri because it's triangular.
I've done put the hotel blanket. I mean, I remember a session in that I had to do when I was in a hotel room at VO Atlanta when I was teaching there in 2013. And I had one assistant, Gary, holding the comforter from my bed over my head. Yeah. And then I had the little light and the script and the microphone. And then I had, what is his name? Dan Friedman was recording for me. And, just like we're all being like really quiet and just doing this thing with the blanket over the head and trying to see. And it was kind of funny, but you know what? It turned out okay.
Sure.
I've also seen people do pillow forts,
Yes. So people MacGyver kind of their booths all the time, and they pillow fort their booths. Listen, I have done that too in the past. It's just that at some point, especially if you have a regular gig like I've had, I don't want to mess it up. I know that if I lose that gig for any reason, there's a long line of people behind me just as qualified, maybe even more qualified. I can't risk it. So it's an investment, and I'm proud to say that it's not that big an investment. And for those people who say it's PVC and blankets, which is true, it's PVC and blankets. But for people who say that, they said, I can make my own. George and I have always said, then you should. We're not against that either. If you can make this, go make it. It's fine. Listen, we're not trying to wring anybody's wallet. We made this for me. And then it turned out that other people wanted it. And if there's a better solution for you, then you should clearly get that.
The thing is also, this is a boutique item that is made by hand in Rick's workshop with his wife.
Wow.
These are low production items that are made by hand. So with that comes a lot of time, and there's some cost there. And also, let's just wrap this into it. When you're buying it, you're also getting some expertise because, it's designed by us. But I also will help you. I'll give you a half an hour of time to either just talk you through how to get the mic in the right place and deal with your setup, or setting up a filter. I mean, you basically can choose what you'd like to do. And the filter is where I actually will set up processing in whatever DAW you're using, whether it's Twisted Wave or Pro Tools. And I'll try to make sure that whatever mic you're using in the Tri booth will sound the best it can possibly sound. And that is also included in the purchase cost. So that sets it apart from really any product.
This is really,
there's no product that includes
gold
that.
Of this product. This is the kind of ace up our sleeve, is and always has been. George, you get George's expertise. So regardless of what this thing, if it was toothpicks and a tissue on top of it, you get George creating a custom audio filter just for you, so that you can sound the best you can possibly sound.
And I can attest to that because George did my effects stack for my processing in Twisted Wave. And my clients, I have a lot of clients and a lot of big clients. I mostly do narration, so I don't have AMC. Nobody companies you might know, but
Sure.
but they are very happy with what they get from me. And
Sure.
I even process the auditions. I mean, nothing goes out of my studio that I have voiced without that effect stack that George Woodham put together for me.
There you go.
Yeah, for you, it's like you need to send out finished product, essentially, right? You're sending out a finished file.
I am. Most of the time I'm sending out things like e-learnings where I'm sending them like 30 files or 100 files, and all they're going to do is plug it in. So I've got it edited and processed for them. So yeah, it's pretty much turnkey, and so I just wanted to let everybody know that that George Woodham's his filtering and it's just like I've never sounded better. I have never sounded better than after I got that effect stack, and I kind of like it because I sound good.
George, that's such a good testimonial. I've never sounded better. That's so good. Must hold on to that.
Did I sound voiceover-y when I said it?
No, I do. But
That's why I was wondering.
No, you sounded wonderfully conversational. I sound like an announcer, but yeah.
You are an announcer.
I am an announcer, yes.
Conversational e-learning person.
There you go.
So that works fine. Okay, so tell me, it's trybooth.com where people can get this?
They can get the booth at trybooth.com. If they're looking for something more comprehensive, like they also want a microphone, and they also want a computer, and they also want so on and so on and so on, George has another website called homevostudionow.com, homevostudionow.com, where you can get sort of a whole package, a tri-booth and this and that, and George's expertise if you want that. If you're looking for the booth and accessories for the booth, just trybooth.com. And of course, George is always available at georgethe.tech, no .com, just georgethe.tech. And I'm available for coaching and demos at bookablevo.com. That's all of our web stuff.
Those websites that, and especially trybooth.com, that people can ask questions about the tri-booth and any of the services.
That's right.
We have it accessorized pretty well with what we figured were the elements, the basic elements you really would want to have. But there's also on the TriBooth site a few additional items that you can further accessorize. Well, someone might decide, well, I want my iPad and I want my laptop in there. Okay, well, you're really going to need another shelf to hold things. We can make sure you find the right stuff because there's a lot of things that are commonly available and some not so much, but we know what will fit in there and what will work on our piping, and we can help you get those parts that make it super easy to make it fit for your needs. You'd be blown away with some of the customized setups people have put together.
The one that you just did,
if you're listening. What's that?
The one that you just did that we just got the pictures. I mean, George put a monitor, like a full television monitor in there, and all these different bits, and then managed the whole thing is in one piece of luggage. I mean, it's pretty remarkable.
Dear Santa Claus. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm so excited about this booth that you've got, and your other services too, George. I'm about to take one of your webinars on Twisted Wave, and so thank you, Rick, and thank you, George. And remember, if you would like some more information, that you can go to trybooth.com. I'm Julie Williams. Thank you for listening to the VoiceOver Insider Podcast.